how do you see Jewish art?
Jewish art isn't one singular thing. There are secular Jews who have made significant contributions to the arts as patrons, artists, and critics, and there are religious Jews whose understanding of art is largely antiquated. Yet the great teachers of Jewish mysticism that I know, religious people, speak of art with great esteem, emphasizing how it reaches the essence of the soul and can bring about a greater connection to the divine.
You have anything Jewish in your paintings?
I think my paintings are filled with Jewish ideas. I think that even before I knew about or was focused on my Jewishness, my paintings had Jewish stuff even when I was painting Greek stuff. I think when you're doing figurative representational art, you can't get outside of who you are as an ethnic being. I think a lot of the paintings, some of them are dealing explicitly with either Jewish identity or Jewish ethnic expressions. But I also think that there's paintings that are dealing with like deeper ideas in Jewish culture. This painting sort of summarizes this central concept in my life and in my personal work that also is then reflected or extends out into my painting, and that is the interaction or dance between the masculine and the feminine. Here you have a man and a woman, and you could definitely say that he's a Jewish man, he has a yarmulke, he has a beard, and they are in a dance. And their dance is fruitful. It's fruitful, represented by the pomegranates. It brings into fruition what? The development of who they are, the extension of their potential, of the infinite source from where they came into a lived life, into the roots of lived experience.
Like, how do you think the pomegranates and the Jewish man fits the world of art right now?
Like every serious painter, my paintings usually refer to other paintings from art history and important ideas from psychoanalysis, art history, human history, mythology, academia, and the techniques themselves. So although I'm maybe making a painting that says this is Jewish and here is a Jewish person in this painting, I'm referring to painters like Matisse and Picasso, and then later some of my favorite painters in the contemporary world like Chris O'Feely and Dana Schutz. So I think that's what makes a painting relate to the art world and art history is the fact that I am engaging with art history, looking at art history, and allowing that to sort of go into and feed into my imagistic imagination, into how I play with form and representation.
It appears to me that Jewish art is in development. There's a need for art that expresses the Jewish soul as art transcends language and connects the unconnected. Great Jewish art for me is a dream for a unified world. Ethnic identity, spiritual experiences, history, and gender mysteries are the essence of art. The Jewish soul must vibrantly explore and portray all of these. This interplay, dialogue, and clash of art and religiosity reflect my personal experience, growing up secular and exploring the Chabad Hasidic world as an adult, being Jewish by being an artist, and being an artist by being Jewish. That's what Jewish art means to me.
You recently had an experience that not many people can have, which is the life in yeshiva and living in Crown Heights for almost how much? 1 year?
Almost 2 years, yeah.
Almost 2 years. How did this change your paintings and your work and your life?
Living in Crown Heights and studying Torah with masters of mysticism allowed me to access information that you can't find on Google, and to be immersed in the practices of Torah and to be in proximity to wise and very spiritually rich and refined people who truly have a transmission of ancient secrets found its way into the work. One thing I think is interesting is my immersion in Crown Heights life in what some people would call ultra-Orthodox community didn't affect the way in which my own reading of Jewish mysticism is very erotic, and that the erotic aspect of mysticism is extremely central to my own experience and towards my painting. But I don't think that this painting is explicit. I don't think that someone would see this painting and have obscene thoughts. I think that this painting is a reflection of the sublimation and transformation that occurs through the mystical contemplation. The mystical lens on sexuality isn't explicit and crude, but aestheticized and intellectualized and transformed into something spiritual.
What do we see in this painting?
I think that there's obviously 4 women, one face, a second face, a third face, and a fourth face. I think that really what you're seeing here is the expression of an artist who looked at thousands and thousands of paintings from human history, lived a life, saw what life is, and then allowed all of that to pour out into the canvas in a fluid and transparent way. There's not editing going on here. So you see themes of ocean and water. You see painterly marks and drips, which are an expression of my love for oil paint and the brush. And you see representations of the face that refer to late Picasso or George Condo or other painters that I find intriguing. I think that's why I love this painting. I think I love the achievement as a painter. Like, I think a lot about like my skin being this color pink. It's not, but like it sort of is.